Good day, welcome to another video, and for today's lesson, I'll be discussing to you what does your introduction or background of the study should have. But before that, I'd like to give credit to the person who created and shared this PowerPoint presentation in Deped Tambayan. So, your introduction or your background of the study is a brief statement of the origin of the problem. It is an account that describes the circumstances which suggested the research. It may include a justification of the selection of the study. When we see justification, we are giving reasons why we need to conduct this study. So, your background of the study also should give a brief origin of the problem. What is the roots of your problem? And your introduction or background of the study has three parts. The first one is the lead paragraph and also should have a body and the rationale. Okay, this is the diagram of the parts of the body. So, as you can see there in your screen, you have a diagram wherein you can find core problem is in the center, in the middle, and you can see at the top there are effect and at the bottom of the causes, and therefore you must able to fulfill these boxes. Okay, suppose you have the problem, you have to know what are the causes of your problem. Okay, what is the reason why you're having a problem, and then you must able to come up, if you have this problem, what is the effect of that problem to you. Okay, so you must able to give at least 3 to 5 reasons why you're having that problem, and you must also give at least 3 effects of having that problem to you. Okay, so that's how we deal with it. So you from now on, you may start thinking of a topic or a certain problem that you want to come up to your research, and then think of what are the causes of your problem and also the effects of that problem to you. And then maybe if it is approved, then you can proceed in writing your research proposal from that topic or problem. In the next slide, I will provide you a concrete example of this wherein you can find the topic and also the paragraph that describes the circumstances and also the justification and the brief of the origin of the problem. So let's move on to next slide. All right, so I have here the article wherein there is a problem in the coconut industry in Laguna, and there is a brief statement about the topic, which is the coconut. It says that on the first paragraph, coconut is one of the most important crops in Laguna, covering 45% of the cultivated land. Aside from producing 60% of country's coconut oil requirement, the coconut industry also provides direct or indirect employment to almost 1/3 of the country's population, according to Bustos in 2002. As you can see, in this paragraph, it also gives an justification of the importance of the coconut in the industry, no? And on the second paragraph, it says that despite the importance of the sector to the country's economy, modernization of the coconut industry has not taken place. Therefore, one of the problem is the modernization of the coconut industry because it was not yet taken place. Over the years, coconut production continues to decline, resulting to decreasing income of coconut farmers and reduction in the local supply of fresh coconut and coconut oils. So, as you can see, the problem is the modernization of the coconut industry, no, that has not been taken place. And because it was not been taken place, the coconut production continues to decline. So it is the effect of the traditional of coconut industry. Okay? Because it was not yet modernized, the coconut production is declining. That is the effect. And because it is declining, no, it happens that the result of the declining of the coconut production, of course, it also decreasing the income of the coconut farmers and the reduction in the local supply of fresh coconut and coconut oils. And again, there is another result or the effect wherein the export of coconut products were also disrupted. So everything is there and presented. Another, on the third paragraph, the decline in yield is primarily due to the failure of farmers to replace aging and unproductive stand of palms with new varieties of coconut palms. These can be attributed to farmers' low access to needed inputs as well as their lack of technical skills in applying new varieties and farm inputs. The low market price of coconut further tends to discourage farmers to plant a new coconut plant palms. So, as you can see in the third paragraph, you can see the reasons or the causes why on the second paragraph happens. Diba? As you can see, due to the failure of farmers. So that is the reason. Failures of the farmers to replace aging and unproductive stand of palms with new varieties of coconut palms because the researcher thought if the coconut palms has a new varieties, then probably they can have a good coconut production. And as they have said, this can be attributed to the farmers' low access to needed inputs. So that's another cause. Farmers has a low access to needed inputs. And another cause why the coconut production is declining, it's because the low market price of coconut tends to discourage farmers to plant new coconut palms because, the decreasing income or the decreasing price of the coconut is also discouraging in the part of the farmers because we know that coconut farming is also difficult task to do, and yet the price of coconut is so low. So, and then as we move on to the fourth paragraph, let's read. The present situation is further aggravated by the presence of a viral disease called kadang or yellow mottle, which kills millions of coconut trees each year. Majority of these affected coconuts are traditional varieties as they are less resistance to the virus. Moreover, farmers rarely apply plant protection measures. So, if you see or read in the fourth paragraph, it gives justification that the present situation of the coconut industry is further aggravated by the presence of viral diseases called kadang. So another reasons or justification of the problem or the of the causes of the problem also that because of the kadang, no, many coconut trees also died, no, and the major cause of this is the yellow mottle, and this yellow mottle or the viral disease targets the traditional varieties. That's why the researcher wanted to give importance of the modernization of the coconut industry, that if able to have a newly varieties of coconut palms, then possibly it could help the farmers to have a better production of coconut. So, on the fourth paragraph, we can read that considering the potential of the coconut farming to fuel industry, the Philippine Coconut Authority has proposed for a loan to international bank to improve the performance of the industry. So the researcher here is giving the justification of the coconut farming potential in the fuel industry, and also giving an reasons to conduct a study that if the if a bank could provide a loan to farmer to provide them a loan that they can buy modern varieties or new varieties of coconut that they can be planted, maybe it can improve the performance of the industry. So that could be the possible effect of the modernization of the coconut industry. But how they can be modernized? By asking for a loan from the international bank, possibly if the farmers can have a loan from different banks that would provide them from the Philippine Coconut Authority. Possibly it would help them to alleviate the problems in the coconut industry, such as having the viral disease that targets the coconut, the traditional coconut trees. Possibly if they could have the modern one, then therefore they can alleviate from the viral disease, they can have a better production, they can have a better income. There is a domino effect of that. But of course, these are all hypothesis or thinking or preconception that this could help or alleviate. That's why we need to conduct a study regarding with this matter. This is a sample of how does an introduction of the background of the study looks like and also should have. So you can benchmark from these paragraphs. Therefore, in this activity, you will create your own background of the study. You will think of a problem, the causes of the problem, and then what are the effects, and then you will write it in paragraph. On the next slide, I'll show you the diagram of the discussion that I have said to you. And then you will create your own diagram of your background of the study. So I have here a diagram wherein you can benchmark, because in the previous slide, I have discussed to you how are you going to write your paragraph for your background of the study. After writing your paragraph for your background of the study, you will create your diagram for your problem analysis for you to present in the introduction. So suppose your topic is about coconut industry of Pangasinan or in Laguna or in Northern Samar, and from there, by the way, that topic is only a sample. You can have any topic as you like, as long as you can relate into it and think that the topic that you're having is something that is important for you, a problem that you think that you need to solve. No, writing a research paper should have the more interest is on you as a researcher and also to the others, because of if you researcher is not interested of the topic that you are writing to, then most likely your readers will do. So it must be something related to you. So suppose the topic of here is declining coconut production. So as you can see in this diagram, the topic was presented that is written in the middle of the diagram, and then on the upper part are the effects. No, what are the effects of the declining coconut production? And then on the lower part, okay, are the causes why the coconut production is declining. So you can outline there, as you can see, the causes of the declining coconut production. Number one is coconut increasingly affected by virus of the disease. That's one of the causes of why coconut production is declining, because of the virus kadang. okay, which targets the traditional coconut. All right. And then the other one is another um, causes or reasons why coconut production is declining is farmers do not plant new coconut. Okay. From these two problem or that I mean from these two cause or reason, no, you can still give a subtopic of it. Why does coconut increasingly affected by virus or disease? Because farmers rarely apply plant protection. Okay? And then, from farmers do not plant new coconut. Okay, what are the subtopics for that? Why is it that farmers do not plant new coconut? Because farmers have low access to needed inputs. Or it could be farmers lack technical skills. Market prices are not attractive to farmers. And therefore, because of that, farmers no longer plant coconut. And because of that, there is a problem of the declining of the coconut production. So because there are problems on that, and we have already provided the reason or the causes, no, we must also provide how does it affects us. What are the effects of declining the coconut production? So one of the effect is the declining income of coconut farmers. Yes, because they are no longer planting, or because the coconuts are affected by the virus, therefore they have only few harvests, and of course the income of the coconut farmers is also affected. And also the reduction of fresh coconut and oil. Of course, the income of the farmers is also affected. And why is it the reduction of fresh coconut and oil? Because also export of coconut product were disrupted. So it's it's a domino effect, you know. Declining of coconut production, there is a reduction of fresh coconut and oil. And oil, you know that we are exporting coconut oils in the world, and because of the declining, we have a minimal exportation of these products. And of course the export is also disrupted. So these are the scenario that you are going to do in your diagram, wherein you have to plot what is your problem, what are the causes of your problem. If you have subtopics, what is the reason of that cause or reasons of that problem, then you have to write it also below. And you have also to put the effects of your problem, all right, in your diagram. Bear in mind, for you to have a good background of the study or introduction, you must able to put it in a diagram also, so that you can visualize your problem, your reasons, the problems, the effects of that problems, what is the justification, what are the reasons, what is the history, what is its background. Everything must be there. But in writing a diagram, you will not no longer you no longer need to write the roots of the problem, the circumstances, but only the cause and the effect. I hope you can follow this discussion, and will help you to do your task in writing your background of the study. Okay, another video lesson will be given, the technical writing skills of writing a background of the study, in another video lesson. All right, so before you create or write your background of the study, I want you to have this activity. I have here one activity wherein you're going to analyze this and then make a diagram for this. All right, so it says that getting hooked to smoking is a problem to most parents and teachers. Young students are still ignorant of the effects of smoking to their health. Students feel happy when they smoke with their friends. However, sensitivity to smoke becomes an allergy to the smoke. Verger's disease is one of the diseases caused by smoking aside from lung cancer, and 80% of the smokers are reported that they suffer from sore throat. Smoking is generated as one of the deadliest vices that can cause many kinds of diseases. An article from the Daily Inquirer in May 2, 2009 reported that 60% of the young students in high school who are smokers usually have low memory and performance in academic subjects, and day by day there is an increasing trend of young smokers aged 14 to 17. It is for these reasons that the researchers would like to relate the factors that may trigger smoking. The researchers would also like to arrest the onset of smoking to help the parents at home and teachers in school identifying young smokers so as to prevent smoking at a specific age bracket. Thus, these correlates of smoking. Herlock in 1998 implied that young students often resort to smoking when they are not busy and preoccupied. Oftentimes, students experiment on new adventures. They experiment and experience the sensual effects of smoking cigarettes. 50% of the young smokers reported that they enjoyed smoking at the beginning. However, when they realize the bad effects of smoking in their bodies, it is already difficult to evade in the system. In the school, students find their friends or peers. Some are good and some are bad. Peer pressure is one factor that enhances vices among young students. It is also noted that peer pressure could encourage smoking among young students, according to Enrique in 1999. So, from this article, you will diagram your background of the study. You have to uh, outline what are the causes of the problem and what are the effects of that problem so that we can make a good visualization of your background of the study. Now, after having this activity, I am so sure that you are so familiar in writing background of the study and you can create your own background of the study with a diagram at your own personalized research topic or title, or you can choose any problem that you like to. So that's all, and thank you. I hope to see you on my next video lesson. Good day.